and then he thinks, getting her off is my new favorite sport, while she's passed out cold.
For heaven's sake, that's the cold open. No preamble, no context, just straight into the deep end of questionable consent.
Context. The context is he's a creep. Welcome back to Heartbook Radio, folks, the only book show that tells you what really happened between the pages. I'm Chaos Carl.
And I'm Dr. Eleanor Vance. Today we're dissecting, perhaps quite literally, Scoring the Player by Rebecca Genshak, a book you seem to think is a training manual for predators.
It's basically American Pie meets a felony charge. This shy girl, Dahlia, gets filmed drunk saying she wants to lick the star quarterback like a postage stamp.
Climb him like a tree. The quote was, climb him like a tree. And lick every inch of his body. Let's at least get the embarrassing viral details correct. It goes viral, mortification ensues, and our QB Felix proposes a fake dating scheme.
To save her reputation. Or maybe just to get closer to the girl he later, we'll get back to chapter 29. Let's talk, Dahlia. Miss, I'm too shy to talk to boys, but I go to every frat party known to man.
She's presented as a classic wallflower archetype. It's about wish fulfillment, the fantasy of the quiet girl capturing the attention of the most popular guy on campus. There's a certain relatability.
Relatable. She's faker than my neighbor Brenda's fear of spiders. Brenda screams if she sees a daddy longlegs but keeps a tarantula named Boris in a tank she claims is her son's. Dahlia's the same. Oh, I freeze around guys. Proceeds to get filmed fantasizing about licking abs. Give me a break.
It speaks to internal conflict, public persona versus private desire. And Felix, initially, he seems protective. He engineers the fake dating to shield her from the fallout of the video. He calls her hot stuff. There's banter.
Banter. He calls her trouble. Hot stuff. Like some reject from a 90s sitcom. And protective. Is that what we're calling what happens in chapter 29? Protective? He notes she's blackout drunk, can barely walk, he's carrying her, and then decides it's prime time for that. That's not protective, opportunistic. That's grounds for expulsion.
The narrative framing is complex. The text presents it as an act driven by his overwhelming desire, fueled by her supposed zero inhibitions in that state. It's deeply problematic, I agree, but the authorial intent seems geared towards intimacy, however misguided.
Who cares about intent when the other person is unconscious? You think the whale cared about Ahab's intent? No, it cared about the harpoon. Felix is a walking harpoon of bad decisions. Some reviewers call him the standard. The standard for what, date rapists?
Okay, let's not conflate this fictional scenario with real-world criminal definitions without nuance, but the consent issue is unavoidable and frankly appalling. He's this contradiction. The guy who says cheesy lines like, "She came into my life like a snowstorm in the desert," and then, chapter 29.
Snowstorm in the desert. More like a Category 5 hurricane of red flags. And don't forget Bethany, the psycho ex-girlfriend. Finally, someone we can both hate. She's worse than my ex who keyed my car because I liked someone else's post.
Bethany serves the narrative purpose of external conflict, forcing Dahlia and Felix together and providing Dahlia a chance to find her voice, which, admittedly, is satisfying when it happens.
Satisfying, it's the only good part. Okay, so is this book actually any good? Because I'm leaning towards burn it with fire?
Well, the reader response is polarized. We have 5-star reviews saying, and I quote, "Giddy, giggling, kicking feet, Rebecca Genshak era. Felix is the standard," which is a choice.
And then you got the 0-star reviews. This one guy DNF'd it, called it awful amateurish, said Felix drank too much for an athlete, finally some realism. And the reviewer who broke down chapter 29 like a crime scene investigator. 0 stars with chapter 29 3 stars if you pretend it didn't happen, which you can't.
It raises questions about romance genre conventions. How far can an author push boundaries before alienating readers or normalizing harmful behavior? Can a character be redeemed from such an act within the confines of a romance narrative?
Redeemed. No, you don't come back from that. It's like finding out Captain Ahab secretly clubbed baby seals. It ruins everything. We got a listener email, fake listener, obviously Brenda from accounting writes. My embarrassing karaoke performance of WAP went viral at the office. Should I fake date my boss to fix it? What do you think?
I think Brenda needs to consult HR, not us. Look, the book has moments of engaging banter. The fake dating trope is executed competently before it crashes and burns, and the takedown of Bethany is well staged. But chapter 29 casts such a dark shadow, it's almost impossible to ignore. It feels like a betrayal of the genre's promise of safety and mutual respect, even amidst conflict.
Safety. The only safety is throwing this book in a locked safe. I did like when Dahlia finally told Bethany off, though. That was primo. But the rest, if Felix were a sandwich, what kind would he be?
I'm not indulging that ridiculous question.
He'd be a knuckle sandwich, served cold. So, final verdict, let's rate this train wreck.
Given the central, deeply troubling event juxtaposed with attempts at lighthearted romance, I give scoring the player 2 trigger warnings out of 5 problematic tropes.
Generous. I give it 0 consent forms out of 10 blackouts. Wait, no. Dahlia telling off Bethany was good. Okay, fine. 1 satisfying ex-girlfriend takedown out of 10 blackouts. Final answer.
Right? Well, that's all the questionable romance we have time for today.
Tune in next week when we tackle my roommate is a sentient mold spore and he stole my girlfriend. It's gonna be spores plosive.
Please stop. You've been listening to Heartbook Radio. Try to make better choices than these characters.